Hello.
Mo, how you doing? Comms
Hey,
check. How
oh,
are we?
mate. Oh, great.
How are we
Thank you.
looking?
How perfect, perfect. Look
How are
awesome.
you, my
Look
man?
awesome. Thank you, my big man. Thank you. I'm very good. I'm very good. It's
Got some
perfect.
sound quality issues, have we?
Yeah, maybe a little sound
Okay,
issues,
okay.
but
No, it's all right, mate. We're good. We're good at my end anyway. I can hear you loud and clear.
yeah, perfect. Nice, very nice. How are you doing lately?
I'm good, Mo. I'm very good, mate. I'm just we've just had a power cut there, so that's why I've had the technical glitches, mate. We've got a bit of snow, as you can probably see on the outside there. Look,
Oh
so
no. Oh, you
yes, we're
see.
getting a
Oh,
little bit of
see.
snow, mate. So I better batten down the hatches and and
We
wrap
have
myself up in bubble
sun.
wrap.
We have sun every day. We have sun every day, and mostly only sun. I'm so bored. I'm so bored out of this sun. Maybe 10 grade, 10, 15 Celsius every day. It's almost summer here.
You're making me jealous, my man. You're making me jealous.
You are making jealous with your snow. I'm so
Yeah,
miss
yeah,
snow
yeah.
here.
You want what I
So
want, and I want what you want.
yeah, let's switch.
Sounds good to me, Mo. Sounds good to me.
Okay, can we start?
Yeah, of course we can, mate. Yeah, let's go.
Okay, Dan, can you introduce yourself I would say, our community, our watchers?
Yeah, absolutely. Mo, thanks for having me first and foremost. And so those of you that don't know me, some of you that may know me on the LinkedIn platform. So I'm Dan Wilkins, 48 years young. I've got a
Young
wife.
every
I have a
time.
wife. Yes, yes. I've got three children, and
Oh,
been married for 24 years. Make sure I get that right. It's one date I
oh,
need to embed it in my brain. So
God bless
yeah.
you.
So who is Dan Wilkins? Well, my background is primarily military and oil and gas. So I left school straight into the military,
Oh,
and then 12 years service completed. So just
oh,
dip my toes in the water there, and then it was an easy transition to oil and gas for me, and that's pretty much where my health and safety journey started, Mo.
I'm totally with you. I'm also 70 years on service for now. From my 70 years old, I can
Yeah,
I want to point on it. 70
yeah.
years from my 17 years old, and I'm totally understand you. I know how the military service is look like inside, and it's as hard as getting IOSH membership.
No, no. But hey, we'll come on to that later on. We'll have a discussion
Okay,
about that later on.
okay. So, can we go through our questions now?
Yeah, hit me with it, Mo. Hit me with it. I'm going into this code mine, so you're gonna have
Perfect.
to bear with me.
Perfect. So, the first question I want to ask you, imagine you're standing in front of every safety professional in the world, the massive
Yeah.
crowd, like everyone we collected in one big stadium. And what one message would you give them now?
Do you know, Mo? For me, and I think now I touched on this on my post on LinkedIn at the start of the year, no less than a week ago actually. And for me, it's all about patience this year for me, and I'll tell you why, and I'll give you a bit more detail
Yeah.
behind my thinking there.
Yes.
With the evolution of the health and safety landscape is moving at an astronomical rate, right? With AI, hot on our heels, and we're all looking for the next big solution. For me, it is all about patience. Just knowing the right time when to apply and use these technologies, right? And at the
Yeah.
moment, I honestly believe, Mo, that we are trying to move at a speed that our vehicle doesn't have the potential to travel that fast, right? And
Yes.
and I and we're missing things, we're missing little
Yes.
fire pits here, fire pits there, swamp holes, all these things that's trying to bite us,
Only
scratch
running.
us, and
Yes. Only
yes,
rushing through it.
absolutely, mate. We're rushing through it, mate, and and don't get me wrong, on a lot of these AI workshops and thought leaderships and seminars that's
Uh-huh.
happening across the globe, and
Right,
there's well
right.
respected professionals that's entering the profession, right? And I think they absolutely have got a point that they haven't been in this profession for 20, 30, 40 years, and for no reason. They're
Yeah,
there for a
yeah,
good
well,
reason. But for me, it's all about patience. Let's have patience and use the tools that we've got already. Um,
yeah.
and that's where it is for me. That's basically where I am, mate.
Yes, yeah, I'm totally agree with you. Every time I'm saying we use the word sustainability in 2024. If you remember, the year of the word of 2024 was the
Yeah,
sustainability. And when we just run through the AI in 2025, I was holding everyone who want to try the AI, say AI. I want to say, look,
yeah,
there are some countries, they don't even have electricity. They have
yeah,
an electricity problems. They don't have water. They don't have simple basic life care, simple basic health care, and they don't have the perfect food on daily basis. But we are running through AI, through new, how can I say, the technical uh, establishments. But we are forgetting that on the mostly maybe 70% of the whole the Earth planet have some issues that even cannot use the AI. Without electricity, you cannot use AI or internet. So you're
yeah,
right. Yeah.
yeah.
And like even,
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely, and I think institutions within the developed countries now are trying to infiltrate these countries. Infiltrate and get them spread the word, which is great. We all want that safety message to go far and wide and all that sort of stuff. But sometimes I think we've got to focus and simmer back down to the basics. That's exactly
yeah,
where I am, Mo. That's where I stand.
it look like when a grown man tries to run with the same pace with the little boy. His
Yeah,
legs are too short to go by the big man who are talking about AI, but he don't have even basic
yeah,
things to even think about AI.
yeah,
So
yeah.
when I run through your profile, if it's not not embarrassing for you, when we just made with you, I just made a little research on your profile, and I saw that you reached SMIOSH, how can we say, chartered member level of IOSH, but left because the membership is no longer added value. Can we talk about it, or you don't want?
Absolutely. No, let's touch on it, Mo. I think it's
Okay,
important to
so what broke you in IOSH, and what advice would you give to people still inside the system?
right. So for me, what brought me to IOSH, Mo, was back in 2018. Now I'm based up in Edinburgh. At the time, I was the IOSH branch was located in a university. So one night I just thought to myself, right, I need to take that first step, and so that was my first step. I went to the university. I listened to a gentleman called, and some of you may or may not be aware of him, Professor Andrew Sharman, um, and he really captivated me as a young professional to want to go out there and
I
make
like
a
him
difference,
too.
basically. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Some of his content is brilliant. You don't see him much on LinkedIn, but
Yes.
for me, that really inspired me to go out there and want to develop my own academic skill set, shall I say? Now, bearing in mind, I'm not an academic person, right? I'm not
Yeah.
naturally one that can take to a book and memorize it. I've got to really, really, really look at it. And some of the individuals that I studied with, and I think some of them might be on this call actually, and it's some professionals within the UK where we was working parallels. We was bouncing off each other. We had forums, WhatsApp out with
Just
the.
a second, please. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're welcome, mate. You're welcome.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. So, right, where was it? Yeah. So I was working. We was sort of communicating outside of our outside of the qualification forum. Yeah. And I just met some awesome individuals, just normal run of the mill people, people that I connected with. You know, they connected with me. Breaking it down into two parts. What would I say to somebody within that process, going through the process at the moment? Is just enjoy the process. You know, learn
Yes.
from the individuals around you.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's where the real substance is. Is Yeah, the real substance is right there with the people right in amongst you. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
Making the real
I
vessel
think
of you.
it's critical. Exactly, exactly.
I understood you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, and I just think I learned so much more from those individuals around me and beside me, and those that were in front of me as well, than I did going through any process,
Yeah.
any process, and through the IPD. The IPD for me now, whether this sounds, whether it makes certain institutions like IOSH, you know, whether I'm devaluing it, whatever the words are, what I'm, you
Hmm.
know, to describe it, it was just a tick box exercise for me.
Uh-huh.
And I learned far more from talking to the people, having phone calls,
Yeah, I
and you
understood.
know, Teams, Zoom calls, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, for me, it was just absorb the people around you. That's where the real
Yes.
substance is.
Yeah, yeah. I'm totally with you on that. When I first heard about IOSH in my life, it was 2023. No, sorry, 2024, April. It was the um, third Health, Safety and Environment Conference, and there was a representative about membership. He was talking about the institution. I was captured. Oops.
Sorry, darling. I'm on
Okay.
battery.
All right. Okay. He was talking about, and he was
You're all right, Mo. I've just had another power cut there. So
all right, no problems.
all right, man, carry on, mate. Carry on.
Okay, great. And I was captured about idea to being the part of big community, to learn something, to have uh, opportunities, to know the world much more around me, not just inside my country, but also how can I say, the global scale, to have the global scale knowledge from outside of the information bubbles that I felt myself at one point. And almost 1 year and 8 months, 1 year and 8 months, I tried to knock some doors, but I felt like everyone who, not everyone, just most of them who are involved inside the EOSH,
Yeah,
somehow losing their interest at the moment they know that you are not a member. So door is closed right now. I'm saying I'm not a member, but I want to know what membership will give to me. Okay, I will pay my money. I
yeah,
will
yeah,
put my
yeah,
time on
yeah,
it. I will put my efforts on it. So I must be sure what it will give to me. And whenever,
yeah.
how much times I try to get an information, doors are started to close, and this become so questionable. Do I really need membership so much? At one point, I just let it go.
Absolutely.
I just
Yeah,
let it go.
yeah.
Uh,
I can tell. But I can totally concur with that, and totally agree. And now, some of the team that I worked with with I was the communications coordinator for the Edinburgh branch, and
mhm.
some of the members that I worked with in that they recognised, right, they recognised that they needed IOSH for the post nominals, right? They needed it to demonstrate to recruiters
Mm.
that. So for when, yeah, exactly when they're looking at new opportunities,
Ah,
The
Mm,
recruit
I
recruiting agencies,
understood.
yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
and I would say, I know I'm going to be ambitious here, and I'm going to say 80% of the people within that branch were doing it to progress their career, right? Not necessarily what the institution provided for us, because let's be honest, the institution, it, people say, yeah, it's the old line, isn't it? People say you get in what you get out what you get put in, and all that sort of stuff, right? It's not. It's just a lot of people are just they're members of IOSH for one reason, whether they're it's business purposes, whether it's
Mm,
to be, deliver training, they've got to be IOSH approved. So it's not so much, I don't think, it's just my view, right? And just
yeah.
my opinion and my thoughts for being a member
Yeah.
for 7 to 8 years. Yeah, that people are only members for as a byproduct.
Uh-huh.
That's the only
Mm.
reason. I would, if people were really honest with themselves, are they a
Consumerism.
member of exactly? Are they a member of IOSH for a professional reason? Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's mainly as a source of income. That's all it is. That's the conversations that I've had over
Uh-huh.
many years, and that's what I've tried to deliver and put across to. I've spoke with past presidents, and yeah, they come up with the corporate responses to all of these things, But when we look at it and when we granulate it down and really unpack things, it's for financial reasons.
Yeah. Understood. I got it. So,
Yeah.
your approach is no fluff, but how do you spot the difference between real safety work and bureaucracy that just gets in the way day-to-day job?
Do you know what, Mo? That's a good question, right? That is a really good
Hmm.
question, and this is, I would say really in the last 5 years, right? The safety space has moved quickly, like I said earlier on, right? And for me, there's a lot of unnecessary paperwork, like whether that would be paperwork for a forklift truck, a pallet truck, or a machine inspection, whatever it is,
Oh
right?
my God.
But you're right. Are you okay, Mo? You still hear me? I
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, I'm listening to you.
yeah. Sorry, I thought something was wrong there.
No, it's
um, and
good.
and and, uh, and for me, there's a lot of unnecessary paperwork. Whether that's within its policies, whether it's the corporate policies, the HR policies, there's a lot of bureaucracy, right, tied up. And health and safety is often at the cornerstone. It's the beating heart of it, right?
Uh,
Everybody, we've all been there. We've all been to, I don't know, in a shopping center or something like that, or a train station or whatever. And people
yeah.
will say, you say, can I ask? This is closed for health and safety reasons, right? This is a prime
Yes.
example, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
And then you do a little bit of digging and deeper, and you ask a question, you be curious and stuff, and they go, and they can't even tell you why it's closed. They just say, "Oh, the
Why?
boss just said that for health and safety reasons," But
Yeah.
and then you think, yes, because we've got a bit of understanding, right?
Technical issues.
We exactly,
Technical
exactly. But
issues.
bureaucracy, right? It's
Yeah.
right there, and we you've only got to look on LinkedIn and some of the professionals out there. They're wearing many different caps as well. And I often ask myself, and I'm sort of digressing a little bit here, so apologies. I ask myself, how can you possibly do environmental quality, security,
Duty.
all
Those things are
all
on
these other
SEA.
hats, right?
How?
Yeah, health and safety is a full-time bloody job.
Oh my
It's
God,
an
just
absolute full-time job.
it must be
It's
Superman
just crazy,
somewhere.
and yeah. And I know again, it's just it's these organisations. Yeah, we work in them, we all work in them, and they need to tick that box to say that they've got the security advisor, the environmental, the health, the quality, the welfare, and all that sort of stuff. But it's just crazy. It just ties itself up in
Uh,
knots, mate. And unfortunately, we're right at the centre of it.
we have a local WhatsApp group about health and safety, and we have maybe 1,000 safety professionals attending inside this WhatsApp group, and these were collecting maybe
Wow.
hundreds of
Yeah.
messages daily, and I'm trying to help the young ones, maybe the old ones who didn't approach several questions their entire practice. And once a new one safety professional writes to me from direct messages that he want to know how much safety journals he needs. He got four trading centers on him, four trading centers, shopping malls, very big. And
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
calculated for him 164 journals. He
Yeah.
was
Yeah. Wow.
destroyed 164 journals to register PPE, fire safety, technical safety issues, technical safety trainings,
Yeah.
environmental
Yeah. Yeah.
pollution registration journals. His mind got blown. He just
Yeah.
cannot answer anything. And I said to him, he
It's
started to somehow ask me to reduce the amount of cisgeners, but I said, listen, I cannot do this. If you
yeah.
somehow got some problem at your workplace, maybe casualties, maybe even death issues, I cannot say that I told you to reduce something and after that you got some casualties and you got some problems. I cannot took this on myself.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't understand. Work through these registrations, work through these journals, or take our attention at real hazards to protect people. So registration or safety? That's the question. It's Hamlet. If
Yeah.
Hamlet will live in this situation, he will ask, getting the skull, and asks
Yeah. Yeah.
to
Yeah.
registrate or not to registrate. That is the question.
Yeah. 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 So, well, it's not for me, right? It's not for me to. But everybody's, and I'm going to come at it from sitting on the fence here, so I might get splinters, right?
Yeah.
It's it's not for me to say to anybody, no, you should register, you shouldn't register, whatever. But it's
Mm.
whatever feels right for them, right, on their professional journey at the moment. But what I will say, this is coming from, from the heart here.
Yeah.
It's we've really got to think what is right for you. What do you want? Where are you going? Where are you going? And there's no doubt about it that IOSH at the moment are are dominating the safety space, right? Anybody that comes sort of within their radar, alarms go off, and then the weapon systems sort of decimate, their
Yes.
demise, bring about their demise, right? Let's be honest. So, I think you've got to you've got to approach these things, and you look at it from your own perspective and say, this is right or this isn't right for me, right? I think that's where it is, and I think, but you've got to also look at it and say, is it good value for money?
Uh-huh.
Is IOSH membership now in 2026? Is it good value for money? Now,
Hmm.
bearing in mind, right? Bearing in mind, now I I haven't secured any role within my career. So within the last 10 years, now I've been I'm an ex chartered professional.
Hmm.
That hasn't secured one role for me.
Uh-huh.
Now, just think about that, right? Now, somebody who spent
Yeah.
probably in excess of maybe five to £8,000 on study,
Oh. Ooh.
just purely to try and achieve
Uh-huh.
chartership, right? You've got to ask yourself, is that good value for money? And is it going to bring you in extra revenue,
No
so to
way.
speak?
So expensive. Yeah.
And yeah, yeah, well, it is, and the cost has gone up again. I think it's in and around 500, £600. Somebody probably, could correct me on
Yeah.
that, but we're in and around that sort of that rate that radius. So yeah, I just think you've got to understand firstly where do you want to be, And not just because something's popular doesn't mean it's good, right?
Yes, you're totally right. Like an Apple iPhones.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, and
yeah,
you
yeah,
still mentor safety professionals. What's the most important lesson you're teaching young ecologists?
yeah. I'm still mentoring at the moment, Mo. And again, I think the mentoring journey, right? I was
Yeah.
featured in an IOSH article a couple years ago. I've lost that article now. I don't keep it, right? And I think for me, it was doing less talking and more
Mhm.
listening,
Yes.
right? Less
Because we
talking and
have,
more listening for me. And it was, and I actually learned more, and I know teas than probably what they got from me. And was I a good mentee, bad mentee? I don't know. I've got nothing to gauge it on, but I'm quite popular in that field at the minute where I'm getting, receiving email, LinkedIn,
Mhm.
personal emails as well, asking if I would be their mentor. Um,
Mhm.
don't get it wrong. I'm not inundated, but there's obviously the words getting about that. I'm doing a reasonable jobs, and as a result, people are achieving a chartership.
Aha, understood you. As coming back to your saying more listening, because we have only one mouse and two ears to listen more.
You're there, Captain. You're there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good that life lessons, right? Life lessons. When you
Yeah.
when you're younger, you tend to do a lot of that, but as you get older, you
Yes.
develop your skill set and stuff. You do a lot more listening. You do a lot more listening.
Totally right. So the Zoom warns me that we left only 10 minutes. So last two questions. If you could change
Wow,
just one
wow.
thing in the global OSH world, what would it be?
So I say that again, Mo. Say that again. One.
If you could change just one thing in the global OSH world, what
Oh,
would
right.
it
Okay.
be?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Do, do you know, I would like to change. I would like to change many things, but for me, I just want people to stop chasing this thing that would, this AI silver bullet that we're trying to chase. That's it for me. There's the silver bullet, right? And and
Yes.
and at the moment, the last couple of years, it's
Yeah.
been this AI magical tool that's going to do everything for us. Do you want
Like
me
a
to be
pill.
perfectly honest, Mo? Right? Yeah,
Yes.
exactly, right. Do you want me to be perfectly honest? I think at the moment AI is causing us more flipping work in the safety space because and they're great to create a set of RAMs maybe for something, and it's very good for reference, but it causes added work. I know a few organizations is actually going back to
Yes.
paper-based copies, uh, just to simplify it,
Hmm.
because users are scared of it. We're scared what we don't know, right? That's it. And I would just love the profession to stop chasing uh,
Yes.
the AI space, mate.
Totally with
If
you.
it happens,
I'm
it
totally
happens.
with
Happens,
you.
it happens. And I think the second question is we just need to be more grounded, right? Grounded.
Hmm.
You go on to
Yeah.
any IOSH webinar. Yeah, exactly. And just
Calm
be a
down
realist,
just.
and let's stop using don't get me wrong, the academic language. It's great, it's superb, but I just find that a lot of high level safety professionals are that high they actually don't know what a set of RAMs would look like. They won't know what a cost assessment looks like, or they wouldn't know what a HAVS monitoring tool would look like. To get back on the ground and start to understand, why are we why
Yes.
why are we seeing over 140 people per year in the UK like dying from a workplace fatality? And it's still the same. It's working at height. It'd be caught in machinery and struck by
Oh,
vehicle. It's all the same things, mate. Yeah. Meanwhile,
yes.
meanwhile, in Berlin, we've got a CHS Congress happening talking about
Yeah.
thought leadership. I said, oh, come on.
Oh,
It has its place, right? It absolutely has its place. But let's get back to basics. Let's make sure that contractors are signed on site. And if there's a fire, just say there's an emergency situation, that we can account for these people Yeah, we can
Oh,
we can
yeah.
get the basics right. We get the basics right. There's a saying, right, Mo, that my nan used to say to me, and God bless her, she's away now, but she was well into her 80s, and she used to say,
Mhm.
"You look after your pennies, Dan. The pennies will look after your pounds." Right?
Yes.
That for me is gold, and it's the same with everything, mate. Look after the foundations, basics, and everything will
Yes.
hopefully take shape.
Hopefully we'll good. Let's cross our fingers for that.
Yeah, and toes, my man, toes. That's it for me, Mo. That's where I am, mate. That's where I am.
Perfect. Perfect. And final words? I guess you said your final words.
My final, well, thanks to everyone really for attending, taking time out. I know Fridays, it's usually sort of chase your tail job, but for me, no, thanks for everybody. I hope the audience took something away, and most of all, Mo, thanks to yourself for the platform to share my views, mate. But no, thanks very much, pal.
Oh, your thank you that you attended here, and I hope that will be not the last, but they will be the concrete base for the future, sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
Not the
yeah,
first, but for the future
absolutely, mate. Yeah,
communications. But just what it was the
yeah.
first
Hey,
stream.
it's that's it, mate. Yeah, it's it's a small audience, but every journey starts with its first step, right? There's me again.
Yes,
I'm sort of I'm sharing these lessons.
perfect. Perfect to hear
Yeah,
about
no
you.
worries. Thank
Perfect
you
to
very much, Mo.
see you. Thank you for attendance and for idea. At the first when we met, we started to talk about the pirates, the basic boss, interesting sport.
Yeah,
So after that, the safety pirates
yeah,
idea were born. So that's only me, but also yours. How can I say? Also your child.
yeah. No, I understand, Mo. And again, like you said, if that's going to be signing off now. So thanks very much, Mo, and thanks for everybody for attending.
Thank you so much, and thank you for our attendees joining us at Safety Pirates first stream. That's not the last stream. We go to the safety seas, safety oceans to describe to see more islands, more ships to conquer, and more gold to capture.
Yeah, like Shackleton, mate. Shackleton, Mo.
Yes,
Thank you very
yes,
much, pal.
great.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye,
Cheers now.
bye.
Take care. Have a great weekend. Stay safe.
Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend.